Hi guys, Steve from Vintage Classic 71. This week I'm going to show you Roberto Clemente cards that I have. Like I mentioned last week I would do. Only two pickups the last couple days. But we got to start off with the trade the Red Sox made last night. I mean, um, it's not going over well at all with us, with the Red Sox fan base, trading Rafael Devers to the Giants for Kyle Harrison, Jordan Hicks, Tibbs, an outfielder, and Bayo, a pitcher. Uh, Tibbs was the fourth rated prospect in the Giants system, not a top 100 prospect by any means. And Bayo was not even in the top 30 or 40 organizational chart. So definitely the return for the Red Sox was underwhelming, to say the least. I do know that the Red Sox haven't been happy with Rafael Devers, refusing to play first base for them. In fact, even back in was it May when the ownership group, John Henry, Craig Breslow, the president of baseball operations, Sam Kennedy, and them, they flew out to Kansas City to meet with Brian Bayo, with Rafael Devers. Probably should have met with Bayo too, to meet with Devers and discuss his reluctance to move to first base, and I guess he refused to do it. So, and I don't know for sure. I'm not in the dugout. None of us are. But from what you hear from sports writers and stuff, team guys covering the team, I guess he's been a little bit of a distraction in the clubhouse. So, but still, if you were, I know that the Giants also took on the full $255 million remaining to Devers. So, and knowing the Red Sox and John Henry, that money acceptance by the Giants to take it all and get it off of his hands was a major driving force, unfortunately. But I would think they would have got a better return. The Giants have Matt Chapman, who they just signed, I think, last year or the year before, at third base. They could have got him. They could have got I forget who the kid is playing. Wilmer Flores, I think, plays first base for them. Either way, at least one of them, a major league ready ball player. They've already assigned Kyle Harrison to AAA Worcester, one of the pitchers acquired. Jordan Hicks I think he's recovering from a toe injury. So he'll be in the bullpen when he eventually comes back. But just not a good thing. We were surging. I think we won 5 out of 7. We swept the Yankees this past weekend, taking 5 out of 6 from them this year. Devers homered in the game, his 15th. He's second in the American League in RBIs. His on-base percentage is great. He's walking a lot. So that bat, I don't know how you're going to make that bat up. I know you used to talk about Yoshida's coming back to DH, but Yoshida's nowhere near the presence in the lineup that Rafael Devers is. He's a decent ball player, but there's got to be something else coming. So this is my little rant about my Red Sox. So I was not upset. I'm not upset. I was very upset. Not happy last night when I heard about the trade going through. Of course, I got my Green Monster Red Sox shirt on. I guess that's in protest. If you're a Giants fan, congratulations. You got a good ball player. Definitely can hit. Not a great fielder, but he can hit. And thanks. We took on your, so we say, your meager offerings. So, all right, let's wrap that up. I hope everybody did have a good weekend. Like I said, if you're a Giants fan, you're probably doing backflips. But hope you had a great weekend. Weather was nice up here in Massachusetts all weekend, so that's good. In fact, I think it's supposed to be pretty nice this weekend, but next weekend is supposed to be high 80s and 90 degrees, so it's supposed to be warm in Massachusetts next weekend. My wife's on vacation, so we'll be up at our place in New Hampshire probably all week long. And then I come back for that card show with my buddy Caesar on the 29th of this month. Can't wait. Didn't go last month because we were Memorial Day weekend we spent up there, but so I'm having withdrawals. Can't wait to go. Got my little list of cards I'm looking for. I'm looking for believe it or not, I don't have a 1974 Pete Rose, Topps Pete Rose. How I don't have that, I don't know, because I pretty much have all the big names in the 70s and the late 60s, but I don't have that card, so I gotta work on finding that. That's on my list to do. So, and I go around the show and I look around and see what catches my eye. I don't really tend to go so much with a list, although I do have a list compiled of 73 tops that I need. I'm trying to build that set, and I'm not really missing anybody big. They're all commons, but it's a matter of finding them. I got to try to find them. So if anybody has any 73s that they'd be interested in moving, whatever, I'll trade you or whatever. See if you want to sell them, whatever. But let me know. All right, well, let's get on with the show here. First, I'll show you the two pickups I have. First is a 1964 Topps Giant. I'm building that set. It's a 60 card set. I think I showed you before or explained it to you. I didn't have this card, Veda Pinson. Nice card. It's a nice set. 60 cards, like I said, all big names for the most part, and relatively not expensive, with the exception of a few short printed cards. Sandy Koufax, Willie Mays. This is Veda Pinson. The back is like a newspaper thing. Rookie Pinson smacks 200th hit. So that's a 1964 Giants cards. 4x6 in size, I think, pretty much sure. All right, that's one. The other one was I showed you a while back. Actually, I think it was like 3 weeks ago. The exhibit cards I have, which are from 1947 to 66. I didn't have any 74 exhibits. Now I have one. I went out and got Cy Young. All-time winningest pitcher in baseball history, 511 victories. The top pitching award is named after him, as you guys know, Cy Young. The back of it's blank. Exhibit cards are nice. Of course, that looks like a mugshot, but they are a nice cards. The 74 ones had a little synopsis on the bottom, with the older 47 through 66, they don't have that. The 60s exhibit cards have the stats on the back. So that's that one. All right, now we'll get started. I'll show you some Clemente cards, and I'm going to go over a few player profiles. I had a bunch of them to do, but because I talked so long about the Devers trade, I'll try to cut it back maybe. I have a 55 Clemente, but it's not here. I have a safe deposit box in the bank, so I'm not going to show that card, but I can tell you it's graded a PSA 5. So I do have the second year Clemente. I don't have his rookie card. Here's a 57 Topps. It's graded a PSA 2. Clemente is one of my favorite all-time players, along with Lou Gehrig, Ted Williams, Hank Aaron. You know, those are guys I really like a lot. Here's the back of it for you. So that's a 57 Topps of the great Roberto Clemente. Here, let's move things around so I got some room here. Here's a 58 Topps, not graded. Not all these are graded. Centering's way off, but love the card anyways. And you can see it says Bob Clemente. Why Topps did that for a while, I don't know. Instead of just saying Roberto. But here's the back. Make sure it's the right way. I mean, the centering's off, but the corners are good. Coloring's good. There's no paper loss or anything, but it's definitely 90-10 from left to right. But like I said, I love the card. So here's a 59 Topps. Again, Bob Clemente instead of Roberto. It's a PSA 2. Clemente, such a great player, humanitarian. You guys, everybody knows the story about the bringing relief supplies to Nicaragua after an earthquake. But just the type of player he was. He ended up with exactly 3,000 hits. He probably would have played a few more years, I would think, and put up even more numbers. But definitely one of the greatest right fielders of all time. So. All right, here's a 1960 Topps. This is a Beckett 4.5. It's in a plastic sleeve, so it might be, the glare might be, I guess it's not too bad. And the back of it. The Beckett one will give you the things like centering, you got a 4, corners 5.5, edges got a 6, and the surface got a 5. So they do this a little bit different. All right, here's a 63, I think it is, yeah, 63 Fleer from Roberto, not graded, but in great shape. I mean, centering's pretty good. Corners are great. No coloring problems or loss of paper. I think this card would grade pretty high if I was to get it graded, but I've told you before, I own cards, as you see. I've shown you some, but I have a couple hundred that are graded, but I'm happy with them being raw. You know, I'm the old-time collector. I kind of think, I did a video about a year ago about how I think grading is kind of ruining the hobby. So I don't want to go into that right now, but I have a lot of nice cards that aren't graded. All right, here's a 1963. This is a post-serial Roberto Clemente. The back has tape on it. The tape stain right there. All right. Here's a 64 Topps of Clemente. Something about the 64 Topps Clemente card. It's most of the copies I see are badly miscut. This one's definitely, it's probably 95.5 from left to right. But other than that, I mean, it's in great shape. I mean, the corners are good. I mean, they're not extremely sharp, but they're not all worn down either. It's just that the centering is way off. So I continually look for an upgrade, but I'm happy with having the Clemente card like this. I don't mind. Been with me a long time, so if I see one at a decent price that's centered better, yeah, I'd get it. So, all right. Here's a 65 Clemente. This is a Beckett. It's a 7, so it's a decent grade. Centering's off, but other than that, it's a really nice card. Roberto Clemente. Still being called Bob. I love the 65 Topps set. The pennant with the team name on it, and even the coloring in the back, the blue and white. But just a nice card, nice set. All right, here's a 66 Topps. This is a Beckett, a PSA 2.5, which is a good. The corners are decent. Centering's a little off from left to right, but not bad. And the back is very clean. So, 1966. Roberto Clemente. My wife and I don't know, next year, within the next couple of years, want to go to Puerto Rico. And I've been there in the military. She's never been. Just to make a trip there. My wife for the beaches. Me, I'd like to go see the Clemente. There's a museum there and all types of stuff I'd like to go to. So, that's 66. Here's a 67 Clemente, not graded. It's in good shape. Like I said, the backs look good. The centering's a little off. The corners are a little bit soft, but overall, nice card. I have a Clemente jersey. I'll wear it one of these. I have so many shirts, as you probably noticed. I'm wearing the Green Monster one, like I said earlier, but I've got game jerseys. I've got lots of T-shirts. Here's the back of that, 67. Another nice set, 67. Really, you can't go wrong with any of the vintage years. I don't know of any that are so-called, would you say, I have good eye appeal. They all, in their own way, are special. But everybody has their favorites. Here's a 68 Topps, which is another nice set. This is a PSA 3. The allergies, you always hear me sniffling. Like I told you one time, I have asthma and allergies, so I apologize for the sniffling. Here's the back. The back is easy to read. The yellow makes it very easy to read. The stats and everything. Again, he's still being referred to as Bob. There. Here's a 68 Topps Roberto Clemente game card. It's a PSA 3. They actually said Roberto, so nice looking card. These are nice. I have a few different ones. Hank Aaron. Yeah, I got about 8 or 9 of them. So. All right. Here's a 69 Clemente, not graded again. In good shape. Centering's a major issue. Not drastic, but it's definitely be an issue if I had it graded. But love it the way it is. And here's the back. That's a 69 Roberto Clemente, Topps Roberto Clemente. All right, here's the Decal Edge, Topps Decal, that came out in 69 too. Clemente, Decal, because of the edging. You can see there. All around the card. And the back is clean too. There's 33 of these. There's 33 in the set. And I have the whole set now. I completed it, I don't know, about a year ago. But that's, if you're interested in those, they're called Decal Edge cards. Here's the 1970 Topps Roberto Clemente PSA 4. I think the only ones I'm missing is his rookie card, the 61, 62, and 63. Other than that, I have all his cards. His playing day cards, I should say. The mainstream ones, Topps. I showed you the Flair one. I have a couple other, I guess people call them, I want to say oddball or whatever, but there's a lot of them I don't have that are put out by like Cons, Wieners, the hot dogs. They made a card, several cards in fact. There's a bunch of them that different. I think a car dealership in the Pittsburgh area made one, so there's different ones. Here's a 71 Topps Roberto Clemente, and it's a PSA 4.5. He's being referred to now as Roberto, as you can see on the card right there. Nice card, but as you guys know, which is the usual with the 71s, the borders are tough to get because of the black. Any type of little chip or mark shows up. But this one's it's in good shape. I bought this card in Cooperstown, New York, when we were up there. Here's the back of it. 71 backs are darker, unless you get the O-Pee-Chee. The Topps version like this is a darker color. All right, then we got the 72 Topps, not graded, but it's in excellent shape. Tossing the baseball up, as you can see there. Here's the back of it. Here's 72 has the in-action cards, and here's Roberto in action. And the back advertises, look for these special cards in a series 5 and 6. It just tells you about the in-action cards and stuff. All right, and here's his very last card he ever appeared on. It's a 1973 Topps. It's a PSA 4, and it's just a beautiful card. He's at bat against the New York Mets. Like I said, the last card he appeared on. Back on the back, it says exactly it's his final stats: 3,000 hits, 240 home runs, 1,305 RBIs, lifetime batting average of 317. Just an outstanding, great Hall of Fame player. And there's the back for you. So that's the last card, 73 Topps of Roberto Clemente, the great Roberto Clemente. All right, that concludes the Clemente cards. With the exception, like I told you, I didn't have the 55 or the 56 rather card that I have, the safe deposit box. I do have that one. I don't have his rookie card. So, all right, I'm trying to squeeze in a few of these player profiles that I started last week on the video. First one I'm going to show you is Tony Pena. I just randomly pick a card of him. It's an 86 Topps. Tony going for a foul ball, it looks like. Tony signed with the Pirates as an amateur free agent for $4,000 in 1975. He debuted on September the 1st, 1980, against the Astros. He went 0 for 1. And then his last game was September the 28th, 1997, against the Pirates. I believe he was with the Astros then. And he went 0 for 3. In his career, Tony played 1,988 games. He ended up with 1,687 hits, 107 home runs, 708 RBIs. He stole 80 bases, and he's a lifetime's 260 batting average. Tony appeared in 5 All-Star games, and he won 4 Gold Gloves. So that's Tony Pena. See if I can squeeze these in. Next is the great Tommy John. Like I said, I just grabbed one of their cards. I actually have his rookie card, and I have Pena's also. But all right, Tommy John, signed by the Indians in 1961. Debuted September the 6th, 1963, my birth year, versus the Senators. He pitched in 1 inning. He had no strikeouts and no walks and no decision, obviously. His last game was May the 25th, 1989, versus the Angels. He pitched in 5 1/3 innings. He had 1 strikeout, no walks, and no decision. In his career, he won 288 games. He lost 231, an ERA of 3.34. He recorded 3 saves in his career, and he ended up with 2,245 career strikeouts. He's a 4-time All-Star and a 3-time 20-game winner. I really think he should be considered along with Louis Tiant for the Hall of Fame. And hopefully that'll happen one day soon. So, all right, next up is Mickey Lolich, another great pitcher here. This is 1980 with the Padres, who I believe he never pitched in the 80 season. He retired after 79. All right, here we go. Mickey Lolich signed as a free agent by the Tigers June 30th, 1958. He was 17 years old when he signed with them. He debuted May the 12th, 1963 versus the Indians. He pitched 2 innings, struck out 3, walked 1, no decision. And his last game was September 23rd, 1979, which I told you he never pitched in 80, versus the Dodgers. He pitched 1 inning, no strikeouts, no walks, no decision. In his career, he won 217 games. He lost 191. In the ERA at 3.44. He saved 10 games, and he had 2,832 lifetime strikeouts. He's a 3-time All-Star, and he was the 1968 World Series MVP. So that's Mickey Lolich. Now, remember, I told you these are the guys that are not Hall of Famers. But if I was running the not quite Hall of Famers, but above exceptional ball players, these are the guys I would have in there. Next is Charlie Huff, the knuckleball pitcher. That's him with the White Sox. All right, Charlie. Here we go. Drafted by the Dodgers in the 8th round of the 1966 draft. He debuted August the 12th, 1970 versus the Pirates. He pitched a third of an inning. He had 1 strikeout and 1 walk, and he got a save. The last game was July 26th, 1994 versus the Phillies. He pitched in a third of an inning. He started with a third of an inning, and he ended with a third of an inning. 1 strikeout, 1 walk, no decision. In Charlie's career, he won 216 games, and he lost 216 games. Can't get any more average than that. He was a great pitcher, though. ERA of 3.75. Lifetime 2,762 strikeouts, 61 saves, and he made 1 All-Star game. Seems like he would have been an All-Star more than just once. But that's Charlie Huff. Next, we got another pitcher, Ron Guidry, Mr. Louisiana Lightning. There he is with it pitching. All right, Ron was drafted by the Yankees in the 3rd round of the 1971 draft. He debuted July 27th, 1975 against my Red Sox. He pitched 2 innings, he struck out 3 and didn't walk any. He didn't factor in the decision. His last game was September 27th, 1988 versus the Baltimore Orioles. He pitched 7 innings, he had 4 strikeouts, but he had no decision. In Ron's career, he won 170 games. He lost 91. He had a 3.29 ERA. He saved 4 games, and he struck out 1,778 batters. He's a 3-time 20-game winner, a 4-time All-Star, 5 Gold Gloves, great fielding pitcher, and he won the Cy Young Award in 1978. Ron Guidry. I'd say a good case could be made for him. I guess maybe because he doesn't have 2,000 strikeouts and he doesn't have 200 wins. But for the amount of time that he pitched, he was very dominant. All right, next we got Bobby Grich. Here's Bobby with the Angels, 1978. Outstanding second baseman. All right, Bobby. Drafted by the Orioles in the 1st round of the 1967 draft. He debuted June 29th, 1970 versus the Washington Senators. He went 0 for 3. His last game was October 2nd, 1986 versus the Texas Rangers, and he went 0 for 4. So he debuted against the Senators, and then he ended his career against the Rangers, which is a funny when you look at it because the Senators became the Rangers. So just a little fact. Not that it factors into too much, but he played in 2,008 games. He had 1,833 hits, 224 home runs, 864 RBIs. He stole 104 bases in his lifetime 266 hitter. He's a 6-time All-Star, 4 Gold Gloves, and he won a Silver Slugger. So that's Bobby Grich. All right. Then we're going to go, the last one is Ken Griffey Sr., Ken Griffey Jr.'s father. There's 1980 of him. Still with the Reds there. All right, he was drafted by the Reds in the 29th round of the 1969 draft. He debuted August 25th, 1973 versus St. Louis Cardinals, and he went 2 for 4. His last game was May 31st, 1991 versus the Texas Rangers, and he went 0 for 3. Ken has 2,097 lifetime games, of which he has 2,143 hits, so better than a hit per game average. 152 career home runs, 859 RBIs. He stole 200 bases, and his lifetime batting average is 296. He's a three-time All-Star, and he won 1980. He won the All-Star Game MVP. He went 2 for 3 with a home run. So that's Ken Griffey Sr. All right. I believe that's all I have for you this week. Like I said, hope everybody has a great week. Today's Monday, my usual Monday day. Hope everybody has a great week upcoming. Hope your families are all doing well. May God bless you. May you continue to collect and collect what you enjoy. Let me know in the comments if you like this format that I've been doing with the profiles of each player. I've done it 2 weeks in a row now. I try to mix in some players who give you food for thought of guys that maybe should be considered somewhere down the road for the Hall of Fame. And then there's others that they were just great players, so it's good to recognize them. Again, if you're a Red Sox fan and we're all in mourning, who knows? I mean, there's always a positive side to everything in life. Maybe with this money that they freed up off the payroll, they'll I don't know if it'll happen, but I don't think it'll be in July. I think if anything, they may unload somebody else. But I think over the winter they will bring in somebody because we definitely going to need a power bat in our lineup. So like I said, I always tend to look on the positive side of life when things come along. So hopefully the deal works out for both sides. So keep on collecting. Next week, I don't know quite what I'll show you next week. I don't really plan these. I kind of like the morning of. The Monday mornings, I usually say, what can I show? So I put something together. With the exception of the last 2 weeks, I've had to write these out, the index cards. So again, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you like it, if you don't like it, that's fine. Everybody has their own things they like. Maybe I'm too boring. I don't know. I don't do. I tend not to do criticisms. I mean, I'm not gonna throw any names up, but some channels, they criticize whether it be cards or people's comments. I don't feed into all that. This is a hobby. It's a hobby that I've enjoyed for 55 years. So it's a big part of me. My wife will tell you that. But it's made for enjoyment. I enjoy this hobby. I'm fully retired now, so other than working around the house, I mean, this is what I do. I look at cards on eBay. I might buy some every now and then. I read my Beckett vintage collector magazines, stuff like that. I live for collecting the cards. I really enjoy it. It's a great hobby. I say this all the time. It's a great hobby for kids to get into. If you have young children or grandchildren and stuff, it's a good hobby. And it brings them closer to sports. I mean, maybe they're already involved in sports. So by introducing cards to them, I think it's a great thing. So, but all right, have a great day. Again, may God bless you and your families, and thank you for watching. Take care.